Hi, I'm Jim McCullen, creator and author of Control Your Day. Thanks for stopping by the website today. In this short video, I just thought I'd touch on some of the reasons why I put Control Your Day together and some of the benefits it might bring to you. So just at a high level, Control Your Day is a different approach to managing email and tasks in Microsoft Outlook. And it applies the best principles of getting things done from David Allen's book, Getting Things Done. So before we get into what Control Your Day does, I'll just talk about where I was years ago with email, and maybe some of you can relate to that. So it used to be that my inbox was where my messages were coming in, and then I had task lists set up in Outlook or in other tools. And so what would happen is as new messages came in, I would go and create a task. Or if I was sending a message out to someone else that I needed to follow up on, I might create a task. Well, what happens is email is firing at you so quickly that those tasks that you're creating are out of date seconds after you create them. And you may go back and reply on an email message and forget to clear out that task, and all of a sudden your systems are disconnected. Also, when you get into kind of stress firefight mode, you might end up spending more time in your inbox than you necessarily want to, and those tasks and things that you need to do that you've prioritized start to fall through the cracks. So that was a big piece of why I started to develop Control Your Day. Another piece that I see a lot of users doing, and I used to do it myself too, is creating all these folders in Microsoft Outlook. So I've seen people with dozens or hundreds of folders, and now they've got to file these messages in all these different folders, kind of keep them organized and cleaned up, and at the end of the year figure out, do I still need these folders, or maybe you don't, and the folders just expand and expand. So that's another big piece of Control Your Day is we do away with folders. You have an inbox processed and a sent folder in your original inbox. All your messages reside in those folders, and then you create virtual search folders to view messages in different contexts, and I'll explain that in just a minute. But so we get away from all that filing, from the stress of trying to figure out the structure and adjust it and change it around. You don't need it. Instead of folders, you can use categories, which are available in Microsoft Outlook, and offer a lot more flexibility because you can assign multiple categories to a message. You can easily rename a category. You can still group and filter and do all those kind of things with categories. So that's a big part of it as well. So let's talk about Control Your Day and what it is. So the idea is that if you're managing your email in your inbox, which I don't recommend, as new messages arrive, they're all sorted by receive date. So the messages just keep getting pushed down further and further into your inbox. So if you're in a meeting or you're traveling or something like that, all of a sudden you could have these messages just disappearing, and you may not have had a chance to look at them. So it creates a ton of stress for you in this inbox. Same on the sent box side. If you're sending messages out and those are commitments you have to other people, or maybe they're work that you've delegated you still need to follow up on, how do you keep track of all of those? Do you create a task for it? Again, there's your kind of separated systems again. So in Control Your Day, what we do is we create a virtual folder we call your CYD folder, and it looks at your inbox and your sent box. But instead of working on receive date, it works on due date. So we'll create a macro and a couple of rules in your Outlook, and it's all explained in full detail in the book and in the videos here on the website. But as the messages are coming in, they'll get auto set with a due date of today, and then any messages that you're sending out, if you need to follow up on those messages, you'll go ahead and add a due date for maybe today, next week, next month. As you're processing your messages that are coming in, you're still going to use, and this is one of David Allen's concepts, the 4 Ds of delegate, defer, delete, or do it. That's the last one, is do it. Or that should be the first one, actually. But anyways, if you have to defer something, then you're just going to move that due date forward a week, a month, 10 days, whatever. And it's going to percolate back into your system on the day that it's due. So this CYD folder, because it's sorted by due date instead of receive date, your oldest messages, the ones that based on your schedule are out of date, are on the top. The new messages are in the middle. And anything that's not due today is down in the bottom because you don't care about it because you've already looked at it and prioritized it. Another big piece that David Allen talks about is next actions. So defining a next action. And we have a way to do that in Microsoft Outlook so that if you look at a message and you realize, okay, I can't do it right now, you can at least define the next action. So when you come back to that message, you don't have to read it all over again and start from the beginning. You can look at your next action. Those next actions can then drive into context lists. another David Allen idea. And a context list, that might be all of your phone calls you need to make, or all the things you can do while you're on the web, or all the things you have to do at work. Those can be contexts that you can define. And you can set those contexts and then create virtual subfolders for each context. So you're still just looking at those three primary folders, your inbox, inbox processed, and sent. But now you're able to look at a virtual folder that just has the context you care about right now. So if you're making phone calls, just look at that folder. You can have a today folder, for example, context, and just focus on that and prioritize your work into there. So with Control Your Day, we're just using straight Microsoft Outlook out of the box, configuring some special rules in a macro, and changing the way you work. So getting you out of your inbox, getting you into this CYD folder, but keeping all of your work in one place. And you'll say, okay, well, wait, some of my work doesn't come through email. That's fine. If you have tasks or other things that are going on, you can push those to yourself as an email, and there's some special ways that I talk about that you can code them a little bit differently so you can know that they're a task you've created for yourself. And they flow into your system as well. Now, this is another David Allen term, runway level management. So this is managing your tactical day-to-day work. This is not big picture project management. I use Microsoft OneNote for that and some other tools, and I'm going to explain that in some future books. But for now, if your email is out of control, if you don't know what's in your inbox, if you're losing touch with commitments that you've made to other people, and you're a Microsoft Office user, Control Your Day might be the answer. So go ahead and take a look around the site. There's a sample chapter right up on the top that you can click and view. You can even download the step-by-step guide, which takes you through the whole process. But I really recommend you go over to Amazon, pick up a copy of the book, and read through it. It's got some great ideas, even if you don't implement CYD, that I think will help you out in the long run in any email system. So thanks for your time, and any questions at all, just send me an email at jim@controlyourday.net, and I'll be happy to try to answer it. Thanks.